Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss about how we can integrate our continuous integration tool, that is Jenkins, with GitHub. Okay. So in my previous tutorial I almost covered the basic overview on Jenkins and the installation process with architecture. If anyone not aware in it, I will request to go and check my previous tutorial on Jenkins so that it will easy for you to understand this integration tutorial, where we are going to create a repository in GitHub and we will integrate that with our Jenkins. Okay, so let's get started. Let's create a project in first Eclipse, file, new, Spring Starter project. Here I am creating one dummy Spring Boot project where I just want to add some print statement. Okay, change the name here, Spring Jenkins. You can create a plain Java project and you can test it. Okay, it's not required to create any Spring project. Spring with Jenkins integration. Change the package something like Jenkins.api. Okay, click next. Let me add only the web dependency. Click finish. Let's import this project first. Application imported successfully. Now let's go to the class. Let me add some log statement here. Create the logger object, logger factory dot get logger of Spring Jenkins application dot class. Okay, here I am going to write one init method who will run before my application start. Public void init. Let me print some statement here. Application started. Let me add this at the rate post construct. Let's add one more logger statement in this main method. Application executed. Okay, let's add some random dummy message. We just want to check this in console. Okay, so declare it public static. Okay, so now let's go to our test package. We are just going to check whether this test process will be automated or not with the help of this Jenkins. Okay, so let me add some dummy test. Assert equals true. I just want to check whether this test case is executing or not. Okay, so let's add the logger statement here as well. Change the class name. Now logger dot info, add some message, test case executing. Okay, so now let's create a repository in our GitHub, then we'll sync our project to that repository. Copy this name, let's go to the repository, create a new project, change the add the name here, add some description for Jenkins testing purpose. Okay, now click create repository. Okay, we created a repository. Now let's sync our application with this repository. Guys, don't blindly follow this approach. Already I have a best tutorial on GitHub, so I created a playlist with name GitHub. with all the basic command. If you want, you can check that tutorial. Okay, so we created repository and we have the project. We just need to sync, right? Now let's go to the project directory, open the git bash here. Okay, first initialize this repository, type git init, then check the status, git status. It is showing we have lot of file which is not committed. Okay, so let's add them, indexing them first. Git add, I want to add all. Okay, then commit them with a message. I'm writing something first commit. Okay, now just add the upstream, then we will push. So to add the upstream, just copy this command, git remote add origin, then our repository. Let me clear this console, paste it. Okay, now let's just push our changes to our repository. Okay, it will take few seconds. Yeah, it's done. Now let's go to our repository, let's refresh it. We are able to see our first commit message, right? Now our application will sync with this repository, Spring Jenkins. Okay, so now let's go to the Jenkins dashboard. Okay, so to come to this Jenkins dashboard, we need to run the jenkins.war, which I almost covered on my previous tutorial. So just follow that. Okay, so we are in Jenkins dashboard. Let's create a new job. Mention the job name. I'm giving here Spring Jenkins. Okay, click on freestyle project. Even you have the option to click on the Maven project. So let me create freestyle project. Then click OK. So here if you want, you can add a description. So click here, as we are going to sync our GitHub project with Jenkins. So click here the GitHub project, then provide the project URL. This is my project URL. So let me paste here. Okay, let's see the what are there in advance. Display name. Okay, mention the display name something like Spring Jenkins. Okay, now click on source code management. Here we are using Git, so click on Git, provide the repository URL. So my repository URL is this one. Click on clone or download. You will find this repository URL. Copy it, then paste here. Okay, now you can add your credential here. Let me check. Yeah, I didn't add it. Let me add it here. Click on add Jenkins. So here I will give my credential. Jenkins credential here you need to provide. Okay, now click add. Now you can select your credential. Okay, so repository browser, let it be additional behavior. Let me check what is that. Okay, just ignore those steps. Then we can schedule our task, means we can schedule our build. Suppose I want in every change in my source code in this Spring Jenkins repository, I want to be a new build. So you can schedule your task. So let me add here. Let me add 5-star. 5-star in the sense, let me show you what is it. So every minute, every hour, whatever the changes will be done to your repository, it will automatically pick and it will do the build with the help of continuous integration server. So actually this is not the standard to use this 5-star. For demo purpose I am adding here normally industry are following, like they have their scheduled job, like every day at night or every early morning they are running this batch. Okay, so you can specify the cron expression here. As of now, for testing purpose, I want to run my build on every changes in my repository GitHub. Okay, now build environment will not require anything here. Let me check anything we missed. Okay, now come to this add build step. I want to add something will be related to Maven. Nothing is there. Invoke top level Maven target. Okay, here you can set the goal of Maven. Let me save clean install. I guess clean not required. Once we will do the install, it will cover the clean life cycle as well. Okay, so let it be install. Okay, this is the build step. If you want some post build action, let's check what are the post build action. Aggregate downstream test result, archive this artifact. This is the email notification. Okay, so click on email notification. To whom you want to send the email? Let me add my personal mail ID. .4 at the rate. In every build status, whether it is failed or pass, I want to trigger the mail to this particular guy. In organization, in industry, they are adding the bunch of email ID, means they are creating a group and that group they are adding, so that in every build the mail will trigger to the entire teammate. Okay, now click on apply. Now go to our Jenkins. Now click on our project. Okay, so click build now. The first build is started here. You can check the console output. As you added the email notification things, it won't trigger any mail now. So for that we need to do the setup again in our Jenkins directory. So that we will do. First let's check how the build is doing here. You can observe it executing my test. Our log statement printed here, application started and test case executing. Okay, and even build is success. Okay, means all the pre-step what we just cover in case of continuous integration, like the test and build, compile, all those things will be done by this continuous integration server. Okay, so that's what we are able to see our log statement in our console in the Jenkins project. Okay, so let's go to the project once again. This is the blue mark, means our green our build is success, right? Now let's check how the build will be automated here. Okay, so let me change something in my code. Let me add one more log statement here. Test case executing, second log statement. Okay, now let's commit these changes to our repository. Git add star, then add a commit message. Second commit. Now let's push these changes to our repository. Okay, it got pushed. So let me zoom it. Let's come to our Jenkins dashboard. In few seconds you will check here the one more build will be start automatically. Okay, so let's check in our repository whether the commit statement is reflected or not. Second commit is there, right? So come here, it will start in few seconds. We need to wait. You can observe here pending in the, it's on pending state, so it will start. Yep, it started. So go to the console output. Even the commit version also it is showing here, so it will be easy for a developer to easily identify that due to whose commit the build is going to fail, right? Just check here, application started. Build is success. Now let's check here our statement, application started, test case executing, then the second statement is also added here, right? Now let's intentionally do some mistake where intentionally we want to fail our build. Okay, so let me go to the code. So let's remove this. Okay, so here intentionally we just want to check how this build will be automated, so that's why I forcefully trying to fail my build. Okay, so this will be leads the compilation error. Okay, so let's add these changes to repository. So let me clear first git add, then just commit with a message forcefully build fail. Okay, this is my commit message. We can able to see this commit message in our Jenkins build. Okay, now push this changes to our repository. Yeah, it got pushed. So go to our repository first. Let me refresh it. Forcefully build fail. Okay, so now let's go to this our project. It should start a new build automatically. Come to this Spring Jenkins project. Yep, it got started the third build. Okay, so in my every commit to the repository, it automatically started the build. So this is what the advantages to use this continuous integration Jenkins. That's why this is the leading software industry is blindly using it. Okay, yep, this is the red one, right? It means build got failed. Let's check the output. This is the commit version and the commit message is forcefully build fail. Okay, and it is showing the compilation error with the class and package. Okay, so this is the message to not trigger the email. So due to we didn't configure the email host port and all those things, so that we are configure now itself, then we will get the mail. If there is fail or success, we will get the mail. Okay, but this build is failed due to this compilation error. This is the secondary logic, it won't impact on my build. Okay, so now let's add the email related configuration to notify on my each build. Come to the dashboard, then click on manage Jenkins, click on configure system. Okay, here just go down, there is email notification, right? So here we need to add the our SMTP server prefix, and there is few advanced configuration is there, that also we need to add, right? So let's add this SMTP server, smtp.gmail.com. Okay, now let's add this email suffix. Our email suffix should be, as we are using Gmail, @gmail.com. Okay, so here use the SMTP authentication from which mail id you want to trigger the notification on each build. Just specify that mail id. I am giving Java Techie for you @gmail.com. okay, now here let's add the password. I am adding my password. Okay, 465. Then add the mail id to whom you want to trigger the mail. Let me add my mail id. Okay, so let me copy this once again. So we added the server and the prefix and the mail id from which you want to trigger, and to whom you want to trigger, that also you need to mention here, and the port. Okay, SMTP port. Now let's check this test configuration to my mail id. Let's check this whether the mail is triggering or not. So you can see here email was successfully sent. Okay, let me go to my email id. This is the test mail which I got from the Jenkins. As I configure this as a sender, and my mail id is received this mail from the Jenkins. Okay, this is just test mail for the test configuration. Okay, now click on apply. Okay, it got saved. Click again on save. Yep, so we enable our email notification. Okay, now let's go to our code, change this as it is. There will be no compilation error. Our build should be success here. Okay, so let me add these changes to my repository. In every change to my repository will be build automatically and will be deploy and will be test, and those result will be triggered to my mail id. Git add star, I want to add all, then add a commit message, something like no error now, I guess. Now push it. Yep, it got pushed. Now let's go to our browser, check the commit statement first. No error now, I guess. Okay, now go to the dashboard, go to our project. It should start the build in few seconds. Let's wait for that. Okay, let's refresh it once again. Yep, it will start. It started. Okay, it's pending, so wait for few seconds. Yeah, it got started. Check the console output. This is my commit message and this is my commit version, the up one. Okay, internally it is doing the test, compile and build. All those things will be done by this Jenkins integration, continuous integration server, sending email to this mail id. Okay, and build is success. Now let's move to my mail id. Yep, I got this mail. Jenkins build is back to normal, so it is normal now. There is no build error, so I didn't get any build error message here. It's just giving me the link. Just click here, you can check the, here you need to log in first. Okay, let me log in. Java Techie. You can see the all the build here. Okay, so our last build got success, right? Now let's go to our code. Let's fail again so that we can check the mail is coming from the Jenkins continuous integration server with build fail message, so that it will be easy for a developer to identify and fixing that error. Let me remove this logger statement itself. Okay, Now go to the git. Let's clear me this console. Now let's add these changes to our repository. Git add, then commit with a message, build should fail and trigger email. Okay, now push the changes. Pushed successfully with the failure. Let me go to the browser, go to our repository. Let's check whether the commit is reflected or not. Yep, build should fail and trigger email. Now go to our Jenkins, go to our, yep, build got started automatically. Check the console output. Compilation error, variable logger. As we remove the logger, it is unable to find this logger statement. Okay, and build is failed and email triggered to my mail ID. Now let's go to my mail ID. I got this mail from the Jenkins. Build failed in Jenkins, and the build version is our 5 with all full stack error stack, right? This is my commit message. This is the commit version. All the error with the root cause and everything is mailed me by the Jenkins continuous integration. With the help of this error notification and this error stack trace, a developer can easily identify the root cause, right? So he can check, okay, this is the last commit done by a guy and this is the commit version. He can easily go to that revision and he can fix the issue. This is how this Jenkins helps us in developer in real-time industry, right? So not only this Jenkins notification and Jenkins auto build, there is few more features. We can create the pipeline in Jenkins. We can create the multiple environment, QA, dev, production, and we can move our code from one environment to another environment with the help of Jenkins pipelines. Okay, so that I am going to cover in my next tutorial. Okay, so yep, that's it about this tutorial. Here we just cover how we can integrate our GitHub to continuous integration tool with Jenkins and how we can automate the build. Here we cover, we can check here, these are the automated build done by this Jenkins, and we notified with the success and failure in each commit, each build status. Okay, yep, that's it about this particular video, guys. If anyone have any doubt or concern, you can add a comment, and those who not subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe it, and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you won't miss any update from my channel. Thanks for watching this video, guys.